Hey guys, it's Vintage Vinny and welcome to my tag video where I answer 19 questions about me, myself, and I. I was tagged by Nesting Haven to do this video, and I apologize if it is a few days late. Just been working a lot and doing a whole lot of other things. So if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Vincent, known as Vintage Vinny. I buy and resell vintage items. I also sell on Amazon as well, but my channel is mainly focused on selling vintage on eBay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this Q&A video. But before I do, I want to let you all know if you see me looking down a lot like this, I have the questions typed up and printed out here. If you would like to do this video yourself, I will go ahead and link these questions in the description box below. So I hope you all will participate as well so I get to know you more. So first question is, what does your channel name mean? Obviously, Vintage Vinny means I have a passion for items dating to before I was even born. I was born April of '95, so anything that's before the '90s, I pretty much love. I'm not real crazy about the '80s. I mean, there are some things about the '80s that I like, but I prefer, 1900 all the way up through, I would say, like 1970. But I'm not picky. But if it's cool and it's from the '80s, I'll take it. Second question is pretty generic. Depends on what you want to know. It is, where were you born? In a hospital, of course. I was born in a DC suburb. I was born and raised in two different towns. They were basically, I mean, depending on where you were in this area, you could get to both within 5-10 minutes. Now, where do I live? Which was question number 3. I live in the country, smaller community from where I used to be. Where, like I said, I was born and raised in a DC suburb. I could get to DC within an hour, 45 minutes, depending on which way I took, or because you could get to DC taking the metro, you could take it, or you could get down there by driving, or you could, oh yeah, those are the only two ways I think that I remember getting down there. So, DC suburb, very congested, very overpopulated, a lot of people want to live there, it's expensive to live there. Now we live out in the country, which is much better, much calmer, much quieter, and people are a lot nicer. Question number 4. What would your parents have named you if you were the opposite sex? I never really asked my parents that question because they didn't know what my brother and I were going to be when my mom was pregnant. I know that back in the 60s, when my grandmother was pregnant with my dad, they thought it was going to be a girl and he was going to be Deborah. I know that because my dad's told me that story before. And they were surprised they got a third boy. I guess girls just weren't in my grandfather's plans. Number 5. What is your eye color? It really depends on what I'm wearing. If I'm wearing a lighter color, my eyes will be like a lighter blue or like a green, teal. If I wear something like maybe brown or like purple, it'll just be a darker shade. I think it's a genetic thing. I don't know where it comes from or what side of the family it comes from, but that's just, I guess, part of my makeup. Number 6, what is your favorite candle scent? I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in any of my videos, but from the time I was little, our mall had a Yankee Candle store, and we used to go there all the time. We would go there so much that we would get to know the employees, and anytime we would come in, they would write our names down on just a little log saying, oh, Vincent was in today. But I would have to say my favorite candle scents include tropical scents. Got this at Marshall's a while ago. Let me see if I can get it to focus for you all. Maybe not. It just says Island Retreat. When you smell it, it kind of reminds me of Pina Colada, and this is a soy candle, so these usually smell pretty good. I also like fruity scents, like grape, or there is a candle that's out there that they made a few years ago. It's called Cranberry Citrus by Yankee Candle, Soho Living line. We would get them at Home Goods periodically for $13, and then with my 10% discount, I would pay like $11.70. So I bought a bunch of those. If you like your house to smell like fruit punch, I would highly recommend trying to find that candle. On eBay, you can probably get it for like $29, which is a lot compared to what I would buy them for at Home Goods, but I mean, live and you learn. It was a popular scent, but they don't always continue to make them, so I bought them when I saw them. I passed on them a few times when I had enough of them, and I wasn't really frugal with my funds like I am now, so I'm much more picky about what I buy. And the last one that I can think of is called, it's called American Home by Yankee Candle. If you have Ollie's Bargain Outlet near you, that's where they sell those. I guess that's kind of like a special line that Ollie's has with Yankee Candle, so they can sell them. And it's called Wine Country. They have another line that's not from the American Home, or another scent. It's the exact same thing, it's just not under the American Home line. I can't remember the name of it. Vineyard. It's called Vineyard. Sorry. Yankee Candle, the original candle, is called Vineyard. The American Home Yankee Candle is called Wine Country. It smells like an artificial grape lollipop. And if you like the smell of that, and you like your house to smell good, like the whole house to smell good, buy those candles. Because, let me tell you, the Cranberry Citrus candle that I have, we burn that for maybe a good 15-20 minutes, and the whole house smells like fruit punch. I love that. We all love that. We're candle people. Number 7, can you cook? I mean, I'm at this stage of my life right now where I still live at home. My parents still cook, so there's not really a lot that I can do with that. I'm sure if I did give it a go, I would probably be a pretty good chef, cook. I've never really given it a go because most of my stuff is like processed and garbage, stuff I shouldn't be eating, but I mean, hey, what do you know? I'm a youngster taking advantage of my metabolism while it's still fast. Question number 8. What is your sign? I am a Taurus, born April 30th. Number 9. What scares you about getting old? There are a lot of things that scare me about getting old because any illness can just hit you immediately. I think a lot of it may be physically, mentally, as you get older, everything starts to break down and you're not as quick and you're not as, there, like, in the moment, like you're not mentally there. Everybody's different, though. It all depends on how you take care of yourself, too. Like, if you're out there exercising and eating well, I think you're going to be okay. Being out in the country, I do live in kind of a retirement community. I mean, there's a lot of young people and, middle-aged and kids and stuff, too, but there are a lot of elders out there, and it kind of does scare me to think, oh my god, if I don't take care of myself, I'm going to end up really overweight, possibly in a wheelchair with oxygen, and it scares me. Like, it legit scares me to death. But on the flip side of that, it's also kind of, and you're going to have to excuse my politically correct terminology here. A lot of rednecks, I mean, not a whole lot, but I mean, there's a fair amount of them out here. They smoke, and there's a lot of them who drink and stuff, too, so I'm not them, because I don't smoke. I will never, ever smoke in my life. Drinking, I kind of do, but not too much. But yeah, what scares me about getting old is just, physically everything breaking down, and just seeing a lot of elders here kind of scares me and thinking, oh my god, that's going to be me one day. But I won't let myself get that way. I mean, eventually I'm going to cut out the junk food and, eat healthier and want to get to the gym, but I just have to motivate myself to do it. So yeah, that's about that. Number 10, what's the last thing you bought? Actually, just now I had to buy some phone chargers because my phone fell off my nightstand last night, and the port where you plug it in to charge it bent, so it doesn't fit in the phone and it doesn't work anymore, so I had to order those. Number 11, what is your favorite holiday? I would say a fair mix between Halloween and Christmas. I mean, in the last 2 years, I haven't really been in a Christmas mood, and part of that is just because I'm working retail and doing really long hours there. I didn't even want to decorate. Even last year and the year before, I was just like, can I not decorate the tree this year? And my parents were like, no, you have to do it. It's tradition. And I mean, tradition's tradition, but I don't know. I like finding all the old holiday decorations and stuff like that. I just, when it comes to be that time of year, I get into Grinch mode. Or even with Halloween, I'm starting to be like, okay, whatever. Like I fell asleep because I worked really early in the morning this past Halloween, so I was out cold and I missed the trick-or-treating. The trick-or-treaters, we didn't even do a bonfire this year either. That's okay. Or fire pit. Number 12, what is your guilty pleasure? I think it's mainly just the junk food. I find junk food and soda to be very comforting. I know it's not good for my teeth, nor is it good for my body. Lots of salt and sugar and fats and cholesterol, everything that's horrible for your body. So, of course, I love my junk food. I like eating it. It's therapeutic. I've always been that way. Health foods, I know I probably should be eating more fruits and veggies, and I just don't. Again, it's that young age thing where, I feel invincible. Unfortunately, that's just my mindset right now. What show do you binge watch? I can think of a few of them. Forensic Files, I love. The Golden Girls, I completely binge watched that whole show. I love that. And Bewitched. Those are the three that I can think of on the top of my head right now. Bewitched took me a little longer to get through, but I did, and I watched it, and I enjoyed every episode. Especially because, that was set in the 60s and in the early 70s, so you kind of got a taste of how things were in those days. Oh, one more. I Love Lucy. I did binge watch I Love Lucy. I love that show too. I love just like I said, I like looking at things that are looking at how ways of life were back in the day, because compared to now, back then it just seems so much more simple. Number 14. What item do you never leave the house without? I can think of three. It's not just one. My wallet, my keys, and my phone. I can't not have my phone. It's unfortunately a part of the day, or how today is. Like, you need to have your phone because your phone is your clock, it's your computer, your mobile device, it's your calculator. It's everything that you need in today's world. You can do your banking on it, you can sell stuff on it, you can shop on it. I mean, it's crazy how much you can do on these smart devices. Like, it really is. Number 14. What item... Oh, no. I just answered that. Sorry. Number 15. Are you an evening or morning person? Definitely an evening person. I've never, ever liked getting up. Whether I slept well the night before or didn't sleep well the night before. I've always been someone who likes to sleep in. Now, when it comes to my job, I say I'm a morning person because I would rather be there early in the morning and be able to leave. But when it comes to just leisure and staying up late, I prefer the evenings and sleeping until like 11:30. I haven't slept past noon in a long time, although I did do it the other day because my body was just so physically and mentally exhausted from some of the hours I had been doing. Number 16, what is your favorite movie genre? I would say most likely comedy. I love to laugh. I like making other people laugh. I feel like laughter is so therapeutic. And I think the perfect example of that is with the TV shows that I like to binge. When I first got the Roseanne series, anytime I was having a bad day or just was in a really pouty mood, I would put that show on and just one thing she would say would just crack me up and I would just feel so much better. Number 17. What's good in your life right now? Honestly, I mean, as much as I may complain and vent, I have a really well-paying job, despite the fact that it's retail. I have a side hustle. I have a car. I've got a family. I've got a house that I'm living in. Very fortunate person, I would say. Number 18. Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Now, I would personally call myself an extrovert, but I also think I'm more down the line, like split between an introvert and an extrovert, because when I'm in larger crowds of people, it depends on who it is. Like if I'm in a crowd of strangers, I might be a little bit more on the introverted side because I don't really know anybody. Eventually, I'll strike up a conversation with someone and it'll be like I knew them for however long. I think the perfect example of the extrovertedness was when we were at my grandmother's funeral almost 2 years ago now. I had really been into Facebook from, I would say, I think from the time I was 13 all the way up until I was about 18. And I had friended a lot of my mom's family on Facebook, and I'd friended a lot of my dad's side of the family on Facebook. So, anyway, when we went to my grandmother's funeral, my grandmother, by the way, is one of 12 kids, or was one of 12 kids. And I met a lot of my mom's cousins, her aunts, her uncles, and it's like, oh, I remember you from Facebook. Oh, you're from Facebook. Oh, it's nice to meet you in person. I met you on Facebook. And so I kind of got to know some of these people just a tad. So it wasn't really uncomfortable for me in a way because I recognized these faces and it was like, holy crap. It's like Facebook just had a family reunion here. But yeah, that wasn't too uncomfortable for me because it was like I knew these people even though I'd never met them. Now that's different compared to, like let's say I go to, like let's say a friend invites me to some place and I don't know half the people there. I mean, I'd probably more stick to that person that I know just because it's comforting. But if I was to be in a crowd of, anyway, like I said, it just depends on the situation. But if I were to, if someone else were to say if I was an introvert or an extrovert, they probably would deem me more of an extrovert, even though I say I'm more down the middle. And the last thing for this video, number 19, is what is your biggest accomplishment? Aside from graduating high school, I would definitely say making Eagle Scout. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do because a lot of kids drop out before they even, consider it. Now, there were times by the time I was like a junior and a senior in high school that I was really just about to be like, excuse my French, fuck it, I want out of this. I can't take it anymore. I'm just ready to be out. So, a lot of props to my dad for keeping me motivated and keeping me in the troop because by the time I had reached those last 2 years of public school, I just was done. I wanted to be out. I was sick of dealing with all the numbskulls and sick of dealing with all of the ghetto-ness and I just was ready. I was ready to get out of there and just be free and not be so restricted like I was in a prison. So that is all I have for you today. Please give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when new videos are posted. All the links to my social media accounts via Instagram are down below as well, where you will see pictures of items to come in future haul videos. Remember, if you want to do this video, all of the questions will be in the description box as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Take care.